Recording in progress.
Good morning, welcome to Community Church of Boston. My name is Dean, and you would think that on this day where I'm here facing the people that I'm most accountable to with regard to this church, I would have my act together and we would start on time and have our everything going, but no, not so. It doesn't matter though. We've got our candle lit and we're ready to go. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh yeah, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Happy birthday, Luis. I'm gonna let it shine. Oh yeah, happy birthday, Luis. I'm gonna let it shine. Happy birthday, Luis. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Here we are. Hey, Dean, that would be me. I'm gonna let it shine. Yesterday, happy birthday, Dean. I'm gonna let it shine. Oh yeah, happy birthday, Dean. Oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine and shine and shine and shine. Good morning, everybody. This is sort of a free-form program, and you are the speakers and the honorees, some of you, and all of you, and I'm the only one that's not, and Amar, but it doesn't matter. This day is a very special day, and we have some folks here that we hold in high regard and that we are going to talk about. And we also have Rob Flax. Hi, Rob.
Good morning.
It's always amazing that between the interstices of a very busy touring life, Rob is able to join us every once in a while, and we are going to have this program with Rob, and maybe I'll get to sing a song with Rob. Why? Because we know a bunch of songs together. We've just recorded an album together. And after this program, we're on our way to Acton to do a final recording session, and that record should be out, let's say, end of the summer or something like that. And Rob plays a big part of it, plays all kinds of instruments, plays percussion, sings, everything. This is a brilliant dude, I got to tell you. And my favorite thing about it is that we start a tribute to our elders with a song from Mr. Rogers.
That's right. Yes.
I get up at 5 in the morning, and 6 o'clock Mr. Rogers comes on PBS, and I like it right at the beginning and at the end. Why? Because Johnny Costa is his arranger, and he's a fabulous jazz pianist, and I love to listen to that little snippet while I'm drinking my morning coffee. And little did I know that Rob is Mr. Rogers' fanatic.
Oh, I'm a Fred head, yes.
A Fred
yes.
head. Yeah, and knows a bunch of songs and knows a lot of stuff about Mr. Rogers that I didn't know. Rob, welcome, and tell us.
Thank you very much, Dean. Thank you for having me. Happy birthday, and thank you all for having me. Delighted to be here. I am very much a self-described Fred head. I love the music of Fred Rogers, and not everyone knows that he had a music degree, and that all of the music on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood he wrote and arranged. And Fred Rogers, to me, he represents one of the highest ideals in terms of how someone can work to use their craft to give a daily expression of care to children. And I'm an educator. I teach children music. I stopped being a classroom teacher so that I could go on tour and shout about this to people who will listen or otherwise might not listen, and advocate for music education for every child. And I want to sing a song of his that I love very much. I end a lot of my concerts with it, so kind of fun to open a morning with this song. But it's called It's You I Like. It's you I like. It's not the clothes you wear. It's not the way you do your hair, but it's you I like. The way you are right now, way deep down inside you. Not the things that hide you, like your toys. They're just beside you. It's you I like. Every part of you, your skin, your eyes, your feelings, whether old or new. I hope that you remember, even when you're feeling blue, that it's you I like, it's you yourself, it's you. Whoa, baby, it's you I like. I like. It's not the clothes you wear, even when they're very nicely embroidered. It's not the way that you do your hair, but it's you I like. The way you are right now, way deep down inside you, not the things that hide you, like your reverb. It's all around you. Oh, baby, it's you I like. Every part of you, your skin, your eyes, your feelings, whether old or new. I hope that you remember, even when you're feeling blue, that it's you I like, it's you yourself, it's you. Oh, baby, it's you I like. It's you I like. You could sing that with me if you like. It's you I like. Come on, join me, please. It's you I like. We like Dean very much. It's you I like. We like CCB very much. It's you I like. We like all of our elders here. It's you I like. We like fighting for things that are right in the world. It's you I like. We like Mr. Rogers. It's you I like. Oh, baby, it's you I like. Thank you very much.
Rob Flax is leader of a phenomenal, fun band. It's called the Boom Chick Trio. You can find them at his birthday celebration every year. That's a sellout at Pasim's without fail. We've also hosted him at our venue in West Roxbury that's called Music on Center. He just came back from a tour in Chicago where he was doing an event with a dance troupe, and a something related to the game of chess.
That's right.
Which Rob is seriously obsessed with.
Unfortunately.
And it's amazing that Rob is with us, and we're going to keep hearing more from him and a little bit from me too. Well, welcome everybody. A couple of announcements. We're coming to the end of our season. Next Sunday is a replay of Phil Turney of the USS Liberty. I'm wearing the hat for publicity. The reconnaissance ship that was bombed and torpedoed by Israel in 1967, and its alumni still demand an investigation as to what happened. Phil was with us, and unfortunately we lost the sound in the middle of the program. So we're going to do it again, and that's our last program. June 8th, Sunday, June 8th is our annual congregational meeting where we take stock of the year past and talk about new initiatives and elect new leadership, and talk about our finances and talk about all kinds of fun stuff. I hope members can join us on June 8th, because we need a quorum. Oh, please come. No, it's never like that. But also, I want to mention June 2nd, if any of you are interested. We have gotten in touch with all of our new members who have signed up in the last year. There's about a dozen of you, and invited to come to a Zoom on June 2nd, and just an orientation, a Q&A, and just a talk with some of our board members about the church and our past and our present and our future and our focus. So if you're interested in being a new member, or if you're on anybody is welcome, really, just to have a conversation about community church and our future. The good thing about our future is that we have a new restaurant opening, hopefully mid to late summer, on the first floor. That's an enormous relief. Let's see. There's also June 10th, which is Jeffrey Sachs. It's an online program brought to us, as it is always, monthly by the John F. Kennedy Memorial Speech Committee. And we've had remarkable speakers through that series. Jeffrey Sachs, if you don't know, is more than worth listening to. Always garners lots and lots of interest on our YouTube channel. So check that out. We also have one other program. Mostly we take the summer off. We have one other program on July 6th. That's a Sunday. And it is Omali Yeshitela, who is the chairman of the Uhuru African Liberation Party, who has been pretty seriously persecuted and prosecuted by the U.S. government, and came out the other side. Omali, again, we've had to reschedule, but now we have him for sure. And look out for that program that we will announce on all of our different platforms. Tomorrow, really interesting program. We'll hear from David Rothauser during the course of today. David could not be with us. He's preparing for this, which is tomorrow, Veterans for Peace. The Guerrilla Theater, 14,000 babies. Veterans for Peace takes a stand for the children in Gaza. It's on tomorrow, Memorial Day, May 26th at 1 p.m. at the Samuel Adams Statue, Faneuil Hall, Boston. The children of Gaza demand a voice on the world stage as they face starvation at the hands of a genocide. Veterans for Peace has been meeting every couple weeks here on Friday afternoons, 4:30 p.m. If you're interested in joining in. We also, last Friday, had a few people on Zoom as well. So that's another thing that we're really proud of, not to mention half a dozen or more other groups that regularly meet in this space for organizing and activism. One more another thing I want to tell you about. We have a new friendship with a wonderful Harvard undergrad who came over here and investigated us very carefully and wrote a beautiful article in the Harvard Crimson magazine, and it's called "They Refuse to Let Sacco and Vanzetti Die." And here's Jerry Kaplan, who is our wonderful volunteer, dedicated staff person who is slowly finishing the job of archiving Bob Datilio's collection of Sacco and Vanzetti materials. And they will this summer go to the Boston Public Library. And with great fanfare, we'll have a celebration of that on August 23rd, which is the 98th anniversary of the execution of Sacco and Vanzetti. So there's a few copies of this. It's also available online. And she also brought another thing that she writes for, although it's sort of clandestinely. This is called the Harvard Crimes On. The Harvard Crimes On, and they find some Harvard copier to print this rag, and it's all about Harvard's relationship with the genocide and Harvard's 6 companies that you should watch out for and whatnot. It's a wonderful rag, also by the same Harvard undergrad and a bunch of other undergrads. So I think we need to start by saying hello to Judith and David Woodruff. Are they with us? Judith is a guest of the Hebrew Rehab, and it's nice that that's about 4 minutes away from where Jennifer and I live, and I've been able to be over there a number of times. And we are celebrating for all of you, but Judith especially, who joins us with David. There they are. Hello, Judith. Hello, David. Looks like you are muted. Are you muted, David?
Did we unmute?
Now we hear you. Now we hear you. Yes.
Good. Say hi, Jerry.
Hi.
Well, we also have a little video prepared by 2 of Judith's biggest fans on the planet, and that would be Deborah Wise and David Fichter. Deborah is a shining light in the theater scene of the city of Cambridge, founder of the Underground Railway Theater, and also of the Central Square Theater. Now is full-time director of the Revels. And Deborah and David is a muralist. You've seen his murals on all kinds of places, especially in Cambridge, like on the side of check out the side of the Trader Joe's on Memorial Drive. That's his work and others. But we have a little video tribute from David and Deborah to play for you right now.
We also visited Orjonikidze, a small city in Caucasian mountains.
No, Charlie, we're doing something different. Not showing the video yet.
What's your video?
Here we go. Yes.
Oh,
So,
wow.
hello, Judith,
Hello, Judith. It's
and
David
everybody.
Fichter.
Hi, David.
It's so nice to remember
Sure.
the many ways in which you changed our lives by starting Children Are the Future. And David and I were just remembering the 3 years that David went. The first year he went was 40 years ago, because 40 years ago we were married, and he went the summer after we were married, and you went to Armenia, right?
Right, in 1985. I was just remembering this because just 10 minutes ago I was out on a wall near here putting up a glass mosaic that I just did. A poem, this particular part was a poem. And this people, as happens when you're working outside, people wander by and ask you questions, and this guy started talking to me, and he mentioned that he was from Tajikistan,
Oh,
which is way over there, a part of the Soviet Union, although he was born after. and I mentioned, oh, I've traveled around that in the Soviet Union, and he asked me how that happened. So I remembered, I said, well, this amazing woman named Judith Woodruff, who lived in Brookline, and she had visited Armenia before that, I guess, and had come across this amazing children's art museum. And then I stopped and I said, not an art museum for children, but an art museum of children's artwork. And she was so inspired, and she thought of this. From that little seed grew the idea of Children Are the Future, and which brought artists and children from the United States and the Soviet Union together to do cultural projects as a way of kind of breaking through the barriers and also learning about other people. And I was fortunate to go with you, Judith, on the first trip.
And it was so inspiring that I went on the second trip. I think our focus was Moscow, and I remember thinking it was so great to be bringing the history of the Underground Railroad with me and also students, obviously American students, and share that with our Russian friends and new colleagues. And David and I made friends of 3 Russian artists that summer, and they gave me this book, A Double Rainbow, a book of poetry, which I just took down from the shelf today. And the introduction is so moving. It just really describes kind of where we were in the 80s, and it seems to dovetail so well with the mission of Children Are the Future. So this is a Russian poet speaking, deciding to put together this project of Russian and American poems, translated both into Russian and in English. She says, if we speak in terms of human values, do our ideals really differ so drastically from American ones? And isn't it true that many people in America and here are simply confused by the dogma of confronting superpowers, losing sight of the fact that the true interests of nations do not always coincide with the political prejudices of their leaders? I mean, that was really something like that was really your inspiration, and you inspired us too. And I don't know if you have anything else you want to say about Moscow. We're going on for quite a while here. Nick?
Well, I was thinking more about Armenia because that was the first one. All the way the particular people like Paul Goodnight and Reggie Jackson who went with us, and some of the kids who were graffiti artists or graffiti-ish artists, I guess you'd say, who introduced that style to the Armenian kids and artists, which they found interesting. And they were very interested in jazz, American jazz, and I remember there was this performance by one of the jazz artists. The entire auditorium in Yerevan was given to us to listen to him play. And then, we traveled by bus up through Georgia and Ossetia. Ossetia was a pretty amazing place. So all of this was organized and tirelessly, but mostly from your heart, Judith, I think. Your passion for connecting people in the world and to make it a better place, and that's what we appreciate about you so much.
So much.
Your tireless energy for that, for trying to make the world better. And all of us have taken your passion to heart, and we are also doing that and continue to, hopefully till our last breath. Anyway, thank you. We love you, Judith.
Thank you so much, Judith. We love you.
That's great.
Yay, Judith. Yay, David. We are going to show this 1985 video now. And a little warning, if you are watching us on YouTube and we are warned that there's some copyright issue or something, we might have to cut off the YouTube broadcast, and we are going to send you in the chat the link to our Zoom where we will be broadcasting it and showing it for sure. It might not be a problem, but if it is, just know that you can click on that Zoom link in the chat of your YouTube channel, and that will bring you to this film that Judith Woodruff made in 1985. Thank you, Judith and David, for joining us and sharing this. Go ahead, Charlie.
Enter your participant ID followed by pound. Otherwise, just press pound.
If I would take some
Yes,
kids
sir.
from the inner city and take them someplace else that they've never been, and then bring that information back to the people in the neighborhood and tell them, that way those people will now become very important to their city, very important to themselves. And then also bring what flavor that there is here.
The States, I'm going to be a totally changed person just because I feel like I know so much now that I didn't know before.
I think that art can open up people to see what they've gotten themselves into.
Because like the Armenian kids was helping us and we were helping them. We couldn't speak the language, but we collaborated, you know, just through the brush.
We are the future. Children are the future. And what we're doing here, I think, will really help. Bringing our two countries, the two superpowers, together is really, and I think through art it can be done effectively.
I guess it pretty much says it, you know? Children are the future. I mean, aren't we?
Our group of kids and artists from different parts of the U.S. traveled to Yerevan, USSR, to work with Soviet kids. There, we worked at a unique children's art museum. We toured the Soviet Union, singing, dancing, and creating art with Soviet kids we met along the way. We began our journey to Armenia in Moscow. We attended the opening day of school at school, where English is studied intensively from first grade to high school. We joined in the annual Peace Day celebration, which is the first lesson of the Soviet school year. Soviet children bring flowers to honor their teachers on the first day of school. They have a tradition of the oldest child holding the youngest to ring in the new school year.
What do you want to be when you grow up? Are you? I remember the airport and thinking that the people would be sort of standoffish and wouldn't be as friendly as I would hope them to be, and that I'd be over friendly and they'd be sort of standing away. But it was totally different. I felt like they wanted to interact and I wanted to interact. And I just thought that we really got along. What would you do there?
Well, it's good to see something.
And we're walking away with that these people are really serious about peace. And I mean, just going today to the first day of school, and the main topic today was peace. And I think that's left us with a definite impression that these people are very much concerned with peace and friendship with other countries. And it made us all feel a little bit closer to them, actually, and welcomed in this country.
He's holding his fingers up saying peace.
Yeah, two fingers mean peace. Yeah.
It's a mystery to me why the arms race goes on. We know very much how to destroy. People invented nuclear weapons, and this prevents them from communicating. I think art is the best way to communication, because art is international.
Art somehow is a universal. It's something it's a language that we have in common with everyone, even our so-called enemies.
We also visited Orджоникидзе, a small city in the Caucasian Mountains.
Long live friendship among people of different countries.
The children of all the world.
You are welcome, you are welcome, you are welcome, dear friends.
In Orджоникидзе, they were really excited to see us because we were the first Americans they had seen. And they just brought us in, and they were giving us gifts and their addresses for us to write to them. And they had us get up on the stage, and we sang for them, and they sang for us. And it was really great because we really got to talk what they thought about the Soviet Union, what they thought, what they think about us, and what were our prejudices before we came to the Soviet Union. It was really great.
So let's get down to the heart. So let's get down to the heart of the world. So let's get down to the heart in peace. So the heart.
My friends and myself, of course, we liked very much your children. All of us wanted to make friends, to be closer friends, you see? And to maybe not for 2 days that you stay in our town. Maybe we can be friends when you leave our country and you arrive to the United States of America.
Even if you're in different parts of the world, you know, and you speak totally different languages, it doesn't matter because you have this communication just by singing. I felt so close to them that I didn't even have to talk to them, have a conversation with them, because we were all singing together, and each other was thinking, and we could feel close without actually speaking the same language. You know, they're so different from American teenagers. They're a lot more family-oriented and more friend-oriented, so that they're a lot more friendlier and a lot more accepting.
Well, before I came here, I was I didn't hate these people. It's just I was skeptical about coming here because they try to attack us or something. But now I know that they're just like us. They're out for peace too. That they don't want war.
We were able to have heart-to-heart talks with our new friends.
I know about your boys and girls, American boys and girls, only from the newspapers, our TV, radio. But now we are meeting. This is, I think that they're very good. Our problems are their problems, because the children is the children in any country of the world.
We finally came to Yerevan, the capital of Soviet Armenia. It is the oldest, older than ancient Rome.
I think the children are very excited about coming to this city, which is an extremely beautiful city, one of the most beautiful I've ever been in.
You can always see a beautiful mountain, Mount Ararat, right above the city. It is said to be the resting place of Noah's Ark. The city has over 2,000 fountains. The most beautiful one was right near our hotel in the main square. We learned that Armenian history involved constant. We visited the Genocide Memorial, where we paid our respects to the 1.5 million victims of the 1915 massacre. The Armenians are dedicated to their heritage. They teach their children a lot about their history and culture.
We came to work with Mr. Agidian, founder and director of the first children's art museum in the world.
Art is a component of an adult art, and it needs much attention. In Armenia, especially in Yerevan, much attention is spent on children's aesthetical education.
This center is unique. Not only does it exhibit children's art, but it offers them daily instruction in traditional and contemporary Armenian arts, dance, theater, poetry, and music, which ranges from folk to modern jazz.
There is an old Armenian saying, if you wish to be kind for a year, plant wheat. If for 10 years, then plant apricot trees. But if you wish to be kind for centuries, raise a child. Children are the future of any people. Nothing ever done by adults seems to match originality and self-expression. This center is dedicated to developing and bringing together the creativity of the youth of the world.
The whole city has a very good art feeling, and I have felt in visiting the Children's Museum and the Museum of Modern Art that probably within about 15 years, this will be the art center of the world, because they're doing exactly what you have to do. They're spending a lot of time working with the children, and when the children grow up, I mean, there's going to be no stopping it. This is going to be the place.
We were the first Americans invited to work at the Children's Art Museum with the Armenian children. One of our projects was to create an animated film based on a traditional folktale.
So the story is called A Drop of Honey, and it tells us about the whole destruction because of a drop of honey. So it begins with the moment when a shepherd comes to buy.
The story is a very interesting one. It could give American children a real introduction to Armenian culture, a real intense introduction to it, because they have to learn how the people acted, how they dressed, what were the ancient fairy tales or folk tales, what their costumes were.
Greg, those characters in the foreground don't move at all?
One of the problems we faced was that sometimes someone would point to one of our pictures and they'd say, hey, that's not really Armenian, and then we'd have to do it all over again. I found out how hard it was to communicate with the Armenian kids. We had a lot of trouble when we didn't have a translator, but it got better and better as time went on. We understood each other better, and we sort of knew how to solve our problems.
A king sits on his throne. When you learn how to make an animated film, you learn a lot about communication. He says, war.
I felt really special being the only person who knew how to speak Armenian in the group, and being able to talk with the Armenian kids and translate.
The next scene, the king sits on an elephant on a hill. The king and the elephant are surrounded with soldiers carrying swords and shields.
The artwork helped make a relationship between us and the kids because they were interested in art and we were, so we became friends.
We got to know the Armenian children in many different ways. We traveled to pioneer camps, made posters and buttons to communicate in English, but sometimes we had to use other ways.
Great. You looking good, I'm telling you. Whoa, 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 whoa.
We taught them our dances. And we played music with them, and sometimes found our musical patterns were different. We exchanged folk songs.
Little short because we have a full program of a couple of other tributes via video and also a couple of people here that I want to just mention and recognize and honor. I want to talk about two people that I was hoping would be here. One is Dick Crowley, who is in a nursing home in Ayer, and my plan was to get up really early this morning and go grab him and bring him here to be here, and then go back out there, and it's very near the recording studio. that didn't happen because Dick is in Leominster in the hospital. Bouts of depression that really just have troubled him for a long time. And there are moments when he's lucid and wanting to be involved in the church and making phone calls and whatnot. And there's moments like this. So that did not happen. The other one is Eli Susman. I don't know if you have seen him. He's been a long time attendee and member of the church, and again, struggling with issues of mental health, and is in another nursing home. And I've been to see him 3 times since he's been there, and it's in Lexington. And he was really wanting to be here, and he was going to call me yesterday, and we were going to make arrangements. But I think that he is not kind of authorized to break out of the prison, if you will. And then, of course, the third one is where Judith and David are, which is the Hebrew Rehab. And Judith and David, thank you so much for that video that you made 40 years ago. We honor you, Judith, and thank you both for your decades and decades of involvement and service to this church. So I want to do a song that is a prayer for those two that I just mentioned to you, Dick and Eli. This will be on this new record, and it's written by Tom Pacheco. It's called Shadow of a Seagull.
It's a wonderful film.
Heavenly Father, Spirit of all I can see, watch over my brother the way you have watched over me. Give him protection from any danger he meets. And though he may stumble, may he always land on his feet. He's been unlucky, he's been misled. This time please give him a good hand to play, and make every cloud he cannot outrun be just the shadow of a seagull in the sun. And make every cloud he cannot outrun be just the shadow of a seagull in the sun. I have been worried, knowing he's out there alone, searching for something inside that is deeper than bone. How can somebody suffer so much for so long before they believe there's no reason at all to go on? Show him his value to his own eyes, give him the wings that will help him to fly, and make every cloud he cannot outrun be just the shadow of a seagull in the sun. He has taken far too many falls, worked so long and hard just to lose it all. Every crop he planted would not yield. This time let a treasure fill his field. Guide him through valleys, clear a few trees from his path. Spare him the merciless wind and the cold winter's wrath. Lead him to some place of beauty where healing can start. Let the moon rise off the river and into his heart. Let him find mercy, let him find peace. From every prison may he be released, and make every cloud he cannot outrun be just the shadow of a seagull. Let him find purpose, let him find peace. From every prison may he be released, and make every cloud he cannot outrun be just the shadow of a seagull in the sun. Thank you, Rob. That's beautiful. I want to pass the mic around to a couple of people in our audience today, and maybe see if I can find my phone and put it up on the film as well. For no other reason than proximity, start with David. Hello, David.
Hi,
David, is this mic on at all? Yeah, it is? Okay. Put it right close to your mouth, and tell us about Community Church and your long history with this place, and your presidency in the late 80s and early 90s, and the enormous search that you made for a minister, and anything else. Just
yeah, thank you, Dean. Dean is a great spirit here. I need spirits every morning, which is coffee, and sometimes in the afternoon as well. And so Dean brings it back from El Salvador, and that's a great boon. And yeah, there we go. I came to Community Church from Hawaii, actually. I was at the University of Hawaii for a few years, and Community Church is a kind of a anchor point for the city of Boston, for the whole culture of Boston. It was helped to make Boston my home for eternity. I mean, even though I grew up in New Jersey, I couldn't wait to get away from it, but now I would never want to leave Boston. Community Church, one of the things I think about is music, and you know, to think of my own part in that. Dean and others arranged for members and other people to come and play. And so one time, Victoria Pupko and I played duets, 2 violin duets. I don't know whether anybody remembers that. We played a number of almost children's pieces, the small violin duos by Bartók, reminiscent of, not Yerevan, but pretty close to that, in the mountains of Hungary and Romania and so forth. Wonderful music, which I enjoyed. And another thing I think about for Community Church is as president of the board, or as a board member, I tried to put Community Church, or to bring together Community Church with other churches in the area. I went around to several of them, talked with their ministers and everything else. Somehow it never worked out. It's a great hope of mine that instead of only expecting people to come here, all kinds of people to come here, that we go to them as well. I think that would be helpful. I don't know when that will ever happen, but maybe our collective resistance to to the MAGA approach to things will bring churches together, and maybe community church can be a leader. So I guess I just wanted to say one more thing. Okay, I'm an old guy. There are a lot of old guys here, and so I'm concerned about my legacy at this point. And so, as a former social psychologist, professor, I'm very interested in research that will advance our capability of political action. And so pretty soon, I think in a matter of weeks, we'll have set up a program with Erica Chenoweth and Jamila Rakib. Erica is a big research director at Harvard Kennedy School, and Jamila is the executive director of the Albert Einstein Institution, which is non-violence education and training. That's what they do, and the Kennedy School does research. And the whole idea is that I'm trying to bring it to extend the scale of research activity, not just for political science or even sociology, but right down to the fine-grained intergroup and interpersonal activity that will be effective in dealing with other movements, bringing movements together, and bringing movements into engagement with the other side, if you will, or there are many, perhaps there are many other sides. I think there are. I think people who voted for Trump are not just of one kind. There are various categories, if you will, that you can put them in, and so we need to be able to deal with those people, and I hope someday we can get some people who are on the border that we would like to engage with, who are not old leftists, and bring them to the church and have some real discussion. Thank you.
David, thank you. I will tell you that David Lewit was born on August 2nd, 1926. And the only reason I know that is because that's the same day my mother was born. Do the math yourself. It's an amazing thing. I want to say also that remember a couple of different collaborations we did with other churches. We did a couple of W.E.B. Du Bois addresses. We shared it with First Church back when David Olson was here, and that's the last attempt we did to do that. And it's a great idea. I think we should work on a presentation, maybe a speaker sponsored by several different churches in a big auditorium. But I want to move to a certain Dick Crowley, who is just like an honor to have. I'm sorry, Dick Keshishian. There's too many Dicks in this church. I didn't say that, did I? Dick, thank you so much for being with us. I want to honor you for your many years of service as clerk of this church, and for your
since 1962.
A member since 1962. Yeah.
Member since 1972.
Member since 1972.
That's when I signed the book.
Signed the book in 1962. That's remarkable. between here and which Unitarian church?
Unitarian Church, here, right
Oh,
here.
okay, okay. Well, it's a pleasure to have you here, and we
pleasure to be here.
honor you for your decades of service. And someday, I want to do a complete oral history with you, where we talk about everything you remember, all the different talks that were had here, the best ones and the most controversial ones, the ones where somebody threw a stink bomb, that sort of thing.
The man that was going to speak about his trip to Cuba, and they had the Gusanos. You have a Gusano now as Secretary of State, Marco.
Yes. Yes. We will move on from there. I also want to.
Cuban revolutionaries referred to those people as worms, Gusanos.
I want to go over to Mike Heichman, who is our deep connection with the Green Rainbow Party, and it's good to have you, and we honor you for your decades with Community Church. And want to say a few words?
Sure. I joined in about 1974. I was a history teacher, teaching history and learning through the Community Church that part of my job was making history. Community Church was an important part of my political education and my spiritual inspiration. In 1990, on June 2nd, my wife and I celebrated our marriage here. Our daughter attended the children's program, and my daughter, I'm proud to say, participated a couple of times as a musician. It's an honor to be with you today with many of my wonderful comrades. I'm proud to be a member of Community Church.
Thank you, Mike. Maybe we'll go to David Rothauser, who is on video. He could not be with us because he's preparing for a piece of political theater that's happening. I mentioned it as an announcement tomorrow at the Sam Adams statue that's by Faneuil Hall. And this is a piece brought to us by Vets for Peace. There's some posters for more information, 1 p.m. David, on film. David Rothauser, we are here in the auditorium of Community Church, and we are getting ready to celebrate a tribute to our CCB elders, distinguished, honored elders, and you are among those. You have a long, long history with Community Church that goes back into the 70s, I believe, and I just wanted to have you share with everybody at this gathered banquet a little bit about how you go back with this place and what it means to you.
Well, it means a lot to me in the deepest sense of the word. I've been a graduate student in filmmaking at BU, and I had come to the point of wanting to do my graduate thesis on the Sacco-Vanzetti case as a filmmaker. Someone said you should be in touch with the Community Church of Boston. Look up, go there and talk to Donald Lothrop, the Reverend. So I did. I came here and knocked on the door, and this big man answered the door. Donald Lothrop had a booming voice, and he invited me in. I went in, and we began talking about the Sacco-Vanzetti case, of which he was very passionate, and he spoke for endless amount of time on the Sacco-Vanzetti case, which was music to my ears because I recorded everything, partly in my mind and partly on paper, and that was the beginning of my relationship with Community Church. Reverend Lothrop informed me that the Community Church was the first church in America to come out publicly in support of the Sacco-Vanzetti case in 1921. I was blown away. He told me all about the church. He said that the church used to have huge congregations, and they would meet at Symphony Hall, 2,000 people and more. and which I never saw. By then, they had moved to Morse Auditorium at BU, which seated at least 1,000 people. And I attended a lot of the services there, and was also invited to be a speaker there about the Sacco Vanzetti case. And I would, people, for some reason, people liked me to recite Vanzetti's speech to the court in 1927 on the day of sentencing. And so I would recite my speech to the 500 people or 1,000 people, whoever attended. And I became the church's Sacco Vanzetti speech maker for
orator.
The day of sentencing, and year after year. I enjoyed the church. Had a lot, it attracted me in different ways. It was very rustic, made mainly of wood. It was old. It had a quality. It made you feel warm. Made you feel part of it physically, which then later was translated into being part of it with the people, not only Reverend Lothar, but other people who were members of the church. And they gathered me, and I gathered them, and they would take me on picnics. We go to George's Island once a year and have a nice picnic and talk about politics or argue about politics. Different things would go on. Lothar introduced me to not to Aldino Felicani, but to the fact of Aldino Felicani, who was the
Printer.
The treasurer, or?
I don't know what his position was with the church, but he was our printer for many years.
Oh yeah, that was the other Felicani.
The other Felicani.
Yeah, that was Teo Felicani.
Oh,
But
okay.
Aldino was to my knowledge, was the treasurer of the Sacco Vanzetti Defense Committee.
Okay.
And so I got to know about him. He was dead by that time. Teo was alive, and yes, he printed all the materials for the community church. And I think they're on Milk Street, if I'm not mistaken. And so anyway, he also encouraged me to look up newspaper journalists who had written about the Sacco Vanzetti case. And one famous guy who came to mind, who had hidden what he had written about for 60 years. And he was a New York, Boston Globe journalist, Charlie Whipple. And he had interviewed detectives who had worked on the Sacco Vanzetti case. And he said, tell me what really happened in the Sacco Vanzetti case. And he said, and the detectives told him, they said, we switched the barrels on the two defense guns to get a conviction. He said that's what really happened. And Whipple was afraid to go public with it. He was afraid no one would believe him. He was afraid he'd get fired. And the detective said, Whipple said, do you mind if I print that up? And the detective said, if you do, I'll call you a liar in public. So Whipple kept it a secret. 1980, he finally came out publicly and admitted what he had done. So there you have a part of the story that was not printed until 1980 about the detectives who switched the barrels of Sacco and Vanzetti's guns, of Sacco's gun, in order to get a conviction on the two men.
Imagine that.
There was a woman also that Donald Lothar introduced me to. She was, maybe you remember her name, she was a librarian at Harvard. She was a specialist on the Sacco Vanzetti case, a German name. Do you happen to?
Doesn't ring a bell. Was she also a member of the church, or?
She might have been. I mean, I'm trying to. I may have seen her here. I know that I went there Donald Luther introduced me to her, so I went there, and she enabled me to go into the archives of the library at Harvard, and sit in the iron cage and read the transcripts of the whole trial.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember her name right now, but she was really important.
I'm sure that Jerry knows her name.
Probably, yes.
And we have those transcripts as well.
Pardon?
We have those same transcripts. He was talking nonstop, and it really was a distraction. So I'm going to spare you the rest of David's lovely interview. Check him out at 1 p.m. He's a splendid actor and author. He's made several films. One is about Sakwan Vanzetti, one is about Hiroshima, the other is about Article 19 of the Japanese Constitution that outlaws war. The other one that he wrote a beautiful novel about Sakwan Vanzetti, The Diary of Sakwan Vanzetti it's called, and I have it on my computer on PDF, and we're trying to figure out a way to publish it. It's a really beautifully done piece. I just lost who I wanted to interview next. So let's say hi to Homer. Homer, it's so good to see you, and thank you for joining us. You don't go back to the 60s or 70s, but quite a ways, and we're so glad you're here, and I really honor you for your stance on Palestine that has really inspired me. You gave me, in fact, this scarf quite a long time ago, and I especially have worn it a lot since October 7th, and I appreciate it. It's not a tallis, which is what a Jewish rabbi would wear, and it's not a stole, which a Unitarian minister would wear, but it's just a plain old scarf that an irreverend like me would wear. So thank you, Homer, and glad to see you.
It's wonderful to be here. It's a humbling experience for me, and I haven't been here for a while, maybe 5 years, and I am aware that I am in the presence of great wisdom and great people. So I just want to say that it's lovely to be with you, and I'm really more into celebrating the wisdom of the present than perhaps the traditions of the past. I think we should be all ready to and prepared to move on and to a better world. So thank you all for being here. It's just great to be here. Great to be back and see everybody. And I'm aware that we're all getting older.
Thank you, Homer. Yeah, and we're going to get to hear another one from Rob Flax now. Rob.
All right. Check, 1, 2. Oh. There we go. All right. Check, 1, 2. All right. Thank you, everybody. This has been a revelatory. Opa! Let's bring those up slowly. Yes. Just making sure everyone's hearing is working, and if not, it is now, or if it was, now it isn't. I'd love to sing you an original song of mine, celebrating the wisdom of someone here who has been making incredible food every time I've been here, and it happens to be his birthday. Shout out to Luis, who is amazing. Luis. And so I'm going to sing a little blues for you. It's called "Send Me the Recipe," and it's inspired by, well, I'll spare you the story for now, but there's a little bit of call and response in this song, so I would love it if anyone here would like to join in and singing with me. I'll teach you how it goes. So anytime I go, "Hey, baby," I would love it if you would respond in kind. Let's practice. "Hey, baby."
Hey, baby.
All right. And anytime I say, "Send me," I'd love you to Try that one too. Let's try that. Send me.
Send me.
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
Send me.
Send me.
I think they got the hang of it. Here we go. Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
Oh, you're cooking something good. Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby. Oh, you know it's understood. I want you to send me.
Send me.
Send me.
Send me.
The recipe, the recipe. Oh, well, now, I was minding my own business the other afternoon when a lovely new aroma came wafting in the room. I could swear I smelled some garlic or some other spice. I wasn't really sure, but it seemed so very nice. So I called out to my lover, and I asked if they would tell me, what's the thing you're cooking, 'cause I like the way it smells. Hey, baby!
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby!
Hey, baby.
Oh, you're cooking something good. Hey, baby!
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby!
Hey, baby.
Oh, you know it's understood. I want you to send me.
Send me.
Send me.
Send me.
The recipe. All right, Fiddle, won't you send me a little? She said, I think I found it in the New York Times. Or maybe it was something I found online. I said, wherever you found it, it's a very nice mix. The way them flavors blend made me want to get my fix. I hope you made a lot of it, a very large amount. But as long as I'm with you, well, it's the company that counts. Hey, baby!
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby!
Hey, baby.
Oh, you're cooking something good. Hey, baby!
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby!
Hey, baby.
Oh, you know it's understood. I want you to send me.
Send me.
Send me.
Send me.
The recipe. Oh, yeah. All right. How about a little song? Now I'm an independent man. I can cook for myself. I don't need to make a dinner from a box up on the shelf. I can mix all the ingredients and follow all the steps. But the way you work your magic, baby, I can only guess. I need that extra special flavor that only you provide. I need you, baby, to make me feel good inside. Hey, baby!
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby!
Hey, baby.
Oh, you're cooking something good. Hey, baby!
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby!
Hey, baby.
Oh, you know it's understood. I want you to send me.
Send me.
Send me.
Send me.
The recipe. Oh, let's do that one more time. I said I want you to send me.
Send me.
Send me.
Send me.
The recipe. One more time, community church. Come on now. I said I want you to send me.
Send me.
Send me.
Send me.
The recipe. Shout out to Luis.
Tilly could not be with us here. She is at the wedding of her grandson in Salt Lake City, Utah, but is definitely with us in spirit, and we have a little tiny video from Tilly.
I'll be right back, dear. Oh.
Hi, Tilly. This is Tilly Teixeira, and we are
Teixeira.
Teixeira.
His grandmother anglicized it.
His grandmother anglicized it to Teixeira with an Anglo X. Tilly, you're one of the people from community church with the most deep roots and longest history, and I wanted to celebrate the elders of this church on this Sunday. Unfortunately, you cannot be with us because of a happy occasion, which is the wedding of your grandson in Utah. But I wanted to give you a chance to say hi to folks and maybe tell us a little bit about your involvement and relationship with community church dating back like 70 years. That's so remarkable. And please, you got married.
I got married in 1953, and in the summer, and in August, and my brother, my connection with community church came from my brother, who had a girlfriend, and we're going to try and trace her father, by the way, if he spoke at community church. But this was a place to get married, and of course my brother had been telling me what to do. He was 4 years older than me, and I always did what he said, and he had told me about community church, and so planned to get married there. But he got married the week before.
Oh.
So you can look that one up.
Two weddings in the span of a week.
Well, 1 week. My brother came to tell me that he was getting married, and I said, well, great. What? And I said, nope, I'm going, because I went to break the news to my family that I was getting married the week afterwards. Both of the marriages were no-nos, because we are talking about community church was where interracial or interreligious marriages could be had with no hassle. And there was a whole slew of marriages of friends of mine here in Boston, but not connected with my brother. My brother, that was separate. That was from his girlfriend, or one of his girlfriends, connection with the church. But and then my brother got married there again, family, against it, but he got married purely mercenary because he was in the Army, and his wife was still at Smith, and her family would not have kept her there, objection to the marriage.
Oh.
And they wanted that marriage mercenary. They could put away, he was getting pension payment every week, and so when she finished the following year, they had a nice little a little account together. But it was love and mercenary.
Mm-hmm.
And back at Smith, they used the allotment checks used to go to my brother's old landlady, who was very friendly and kept them for him. And
They'd send them to the landlady instead of straight to him?
well, they were addressed to him, but at the landlady's address.
Okay.
And my brother was a finagler, we'll just put it that way. So, and he finagled the marriage for community church, he told me about the church.
Yeah. Tilly, do you remember any of these remarkable speakers that we had from the 50s, like when Martin Luther King spoke there in 1956 or 7, or Thurgood Marshall, or Henry Wallace?
No, I came...
Or the great journalist Dorothy Thompson?
I came to Boston the year after Wallace, 1949. So there was a whole, huge progressive movement, but no, I did not know. But how do you say, but, you know, community church was the refuge, you know. And,
Refuge.
I'm trying to think, the minister,
Lothrop?
Lothrop.
In that time,
When my husband went to ask Lothrop, you know, had a date set, and at that point in time, where the church is, the downstairs, there was a lovely room, you know, which is where we got married, and anyway, my husband came and saw Lothrop, and Lothrop was in his, my husband, who was raised, quote, Catholic, although he had left the church, but here's this guy in overalls, and that was Lothrop. And it was flipped out, this was the minister. And, but like I said, Lothrop married us, and he married my brother the week before, and a lot of other Boston friends. It was the place. And yes, when I could, I would, you know, go to, there was a really good speaker I would go to, but I didn't go to church every Sunday, you know, it was when I could. And
well, we have a whole lot of that, just sort of people who come when it's a subject that interests them, you know, and we have a small, really active and passionate membership, but a lot of, you know, you call it the greater left of the city of Boston just come when there's something about the topic that they're most interested in, you know, be it yesterday or last Sunday Central America, or be it the Green Rainbow Party politics, or be it, you know, whatever women's issues. So.
And my husband was never active in the church, but he was active in providing security for some of the far out speakers.
Oh.
Some who did not come to community church, as I was telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Dean, you know, my memory of providing security for Madame Allende.
Madame Allende, oh.
You know. But,
soon after the 73 overthrow.
It was about a year after, yeah.
Oh, wow.
But, you know, it was always a warm, there would be persons of interest, we'll put it that way, whether we could go or not. And, you know, at that time, you know, part of the time, the speakers may not have been at what is now the church. Oh, I got married at the church.
Right.
But
they would be in a big auditorium.
Right.
Sure.
I mean, at one point it was symphony, but then went to BU, and you know, I can remember attending one or two interesting speakers. We'll put it that way.
Sure.
Don't ask me what the name. You know.
Well, my first memories are of going there soon after I arrived in Boston to hear Howard Zinn, Noam Chomsky, Jonathan Kozol, at Morse Auditorium, and those are things that we're slowly. We have cassette recordings of them, and we're slowly digitizing them. And it's so interesting to just study history of the 20th century through the lens of the archives of community church. And here's an example. I read somewhere online that Margaret Sanger had spoken at community, or spoken in Boston. It didn't say where, but she had been banned. So she came to the Symphony Hall, and she sat She didn't speak because she'd been banned because of this banned in Boston thing that they had back in the 30s. And,
it lasted more than that, buddy boy.
Yeah. Well, seriously influenced by, I think, the Catholic Archdiocese and other influences. But she came anyway, and she sat on the stage with her mouth gagged. And Arthur Schlesinger Sr., who I don't know much about, but he was a professor at Harvard, delivered her address instead of her. So that's how they got around the ban. And I'm really curious to look up. In our archives are not only a record of who spoke, but also binders full of newspaper articles about the event, preview of the event, review of the event, advertising for the event.
Okay,
so
well,
it's like a great way to study what happened.
Well, what I do remember about community church also, 1960, was their support of Cuba. And there were problems that the church was, I don't mean physical, physically attacked, but the attacks on the church for supporting Cuba or allowing pro-Cuban speakers, and that was a problem. The guy came after Lothrop, but
that would have been Zwerdling, or after him would have been soon after him would be Alberts.
I think it was Alberts was attacked.
Mm-hmm.
But specifically, being attacked on Cuba policy, that I remember.
Yeah.
And very much, anything to do with that, we were trying to support it, we'll put it that way.
Well, there are stories about two things I remember. One is that about some speaker who spoke at New England Life Hall, and some agitators came and left stink bombs. And I don't know if it was associated with that, but we were asked to leave New England Life Hall because of some complaints or something. We had to find another auditorium where to meet, and both of these are things that we could maybe research in the archives.
Well, I do remember going to a couple of community church events at New England Life.
Yeah. Right nearby.
It was when I'm trying to get Dean to look way out to see if a friend of my brother's family spoke at community church, and this would have been way back, but they were refugees from Austria and came here 1937, 38.
And that would be the Waldinger family.
Waldingers.
Yeah. Well, we can look that up. We have a full record of all of the Sunday speakers, all the way from 1921 all the way to 2019. Crystal and I have to update it to for the past 6 years. But it's all there, and this is an invitation to other people who are interested in this. Anyway, Tilly, I hope you have a wonderful trip out to Salt Lake City, and I'm really proud to be sharing this with the other folks who are at the banquet in their honor, which is this Sunday, May 25th. It also happens to be, it will be the celebration of my birthday, Luis's birthday, and Lee Underwood's birthday, 3 days in a row. So it promises to be a wonderful occasion.
Coincidental.
Coincidental, yeah. Thank you, Tilly.
Okay.
Of some folks who have deep memories of those days, the 80s and the 70s. and especially in anticipation of maybe this summer after we've finished with our programs, deep diving into the archives. I'm looking forward very much to the Jerry being done with his work in the Sacco and Vanzetti archives, and then moving up 2 floors to our own 105 years of history that are on the 5th floor of the building. It's a rich thing there. Needs a lot of work, and we're ready for it. But as we started, we'll do another song for kids that has a sort of adult message too. This is also on this new record. It's called Golden Retriever. I wish I had a golden retriever to sleep in my bedroom, to lick at my face. My parents say someday we will get one, but first we need money to buy our own place. They say our house belongs to our landlord. He owns his own house and he also owns ours. We pay him rent and he takes vacations and owns a jacuzzi and 2 fancy cars. My landlord says we can't have a garden, we can't have a swing set, we can't have a pet. But when he wants, he flies to Bermuda. Whatever he dreams of, my landlord can get. And yesterday was the 4th of the month. We were late with the rent, so we dropped off the check. We rang the doorbell, but he was out back, fast asleep on the hammock attached to his deck. And on the chair a golden retriever looked up when he saw us and started to whine. My landlord woke up, and as they were talking, I watched that retriever and wished he were mine. And in the car, my parents were talking. My mother was angry, my dad was depressed. They said, the rich get richer and richer, the rest get to work while the rich get to rest. We stopped, we parked, we ate at McDonald's. My mom had a salad, my dad had a Coke. We sat, we sighed, there wasn't much talking, and nobody laughed when I told them a joke. My parents say they both want a garden. I think they deserve one, they really work hard. And I deserve a golden retriever. We should have a house and we should have a house and we should have a yard. A yard, yes, yes. When I grow up, I'll live in an igloo, I'll live in a lean-to, I'll live in a tent. But I won't give my money to landlords who own the retriever while I pay the rent. Jose, our clerk, Jose Aleman.
Gracias, Dean, and hello, everyone. I'm Jose Aleman. I came here for first time in 2010. Dean Stevens and United Voices were supplying the music. Jason was the minister. And Tilly was doing the joys and concerns. It's unforgettable. The first time is like when you meet somebody for first time. Unforgettable. I remember that spring in 2010. Moving the film up to this day, I am the clerk, as you said, since 3 years ago. And they haven't been easy times. As you know, the property downstairs has now perhaps finally securing a good situation. We are in a fight to recover $1 million so that we can continue the work that many of you have helped to bring to this point. So it brings me humbleness, but also the sense that this place is a sacred place because so many of you have put hours, countless hours, energies, efforts, initiatives. And some of them bear fruits, and some others are still in the making, right? Projects. So I hope that God gives me some years of life to then, as Dave said, have a heritage, something to say, a torch to pass to the new generation. So thank you for making this place what it is, and for have the hopes and the energy to push us with your example into more years into the future, which, although it's not bright at this point, it's up to us to make it shine again. So thank you so much.
Well said, Jose. Thank you. And I think this is the moment to unveil to all the honorees, and you know who you are, and maybe you didn't even speak, but this is for you, and for the rest of you, or for whoever wants to, you can buy one. But this is what we've got. Community Church of Boston, a peace and justice congregation since 1920. 105 years of good trouble on the back. And please take one with you unless you want to buy one for whatever generous or ungenerous or whatever contribution you're interested in. Tim.
Two questions which just struck me today. One is, how long has the church been in this location? And the second is, do you remember what happened in the church the first time it met following JFK's assassination?
Community Church has owned this building since 1946. And we started having meetings in this space in 1990. Before that, it was in large auditoriums. And I know that there was an honorary, like a memorial service for JFK. Past that, there's a bunch of research up there, and we've got it organized enough so it's like we have all the yearbooks. The yearbook goes from fall to now, June, when we knock off. Each year, you know, it's 24, 25, or 1933, 34, and we could go to 1963 and see what was there. From there, we could also go to the binders that have all of every news clipping there is about previews of who the speakers are, and reviews of what the speaker said. And I'm sure there would be something there about how Community Church commemorated JFK. I'll also tell you another cool thing. We found a letter, 1956, maybe, JFK, a senator at the time, responding to Donald Lothrop's invitation to come and speak. And it said, "I'm sorry I can't attend because my Catholic faith doesn't allow me to enter a different church on a Sunday, but if you'd like, we can arrange for a forum of some kind on a weeknight." That's as far as it got. I don't think we ever were able to arrange for that weeknight forum, but there you have it. And we can, if you're interested, I could take you up there and we could go to 1963 and research it. We could also. These aren't very well organized yet, but we have the minutes of the meetings, and find what the minutes of the meeting said about November 1963 as well. So it's really rich, and there's a lot of work to make it right. You get me going about the archives, and I won't stop. The challenge is to know whether this archive belongs in a institutional repository that has more resources to take care of it than we do, or if it's just such a treasure that we want to do it ourselves here. And that's a big question mark. Where did Lee go? I don't know. Okay, well, is there anyone else who wants to chime in? Don't forget your mug on the way out. There's a basket over there, and if you're interested in contributing for the mug, that's fine. But if you're interested in considering yourself an honored guest here, take it with you. And I thank Crystal Rollins Jackson for the design and the ordering of the mugs. Don't you love that story about Margaret Sanger? She sat on the stage gagged, with her mouth gagged, and Arthur Schlesinger Sr. read her address. It kind of reminds me of another story I just read on a Facebook post where Pete Seeger went to Spain in 1975 at the very end of the Franco years. And he was going to do a concert, and he was given a list of songs. The government of Spain gave him a list of songs that he was not allowed to sing. So he went up there, and he knew these are songs from the Spanish Civil War and like protest songs. And he told the audience, huge audience, I'm going to just start playing this song. And the audience sang the songs, and he didn't sing them. Sort of the same thing as Margaret Sanger. Anyway, let's conclude it on that beautiful note and repair to the beautiful luncheon that Luis has prepared for us. There's also some birthday cake celebrating not only Luis, but yours truly, as well as Lee Underwood, who is working and cannot be with us. Happy birthday, Lee. He's another member of our board and a recent addition to our congregation in the last 3 or 4 years. Friends, our meeting is over. Friends, we must part. Friends, we'll be gone, but I will love you in my heart, and we'll land